Welcome back to a new tutorial, Benoît Farine for benExplorer. In this module we will spend some time understanding in and out points. Quite often the footage that was recorded is too long and we are interested in subsections of the footage only, not the whole footage. I will show you how to use in and out points in order to define a section of a clip. In and out points can be set in the source monitor panel and in the program monitor panel. We will see when to use the source monitor panel and when to use the program monitor panel. I recommend that you download the project files and media from my site to follow what I'm doing here. You can also use your own media, of course. The link to the tutorial files can be found in the description section of this module. See the module Getting Ready with Tutorial Files if you need more details on setting up those files on your system. For this exercise, I opened the project monitor panels in point and out point. Double-click bikers and a car on the project panel. The clip opens in the source monitor. Let's drag the playhead around. We are looking at the footage. We want to understand what the video is about. Perhaps the clip is too long and contains footage we just do not need, or we are only interested in a section of the whole clip. Basically, what we are about to do here is prepare this clip before it gets added to the timeline and trim the clip to the portion we are interested in. Actually, I want this portion only, where both bicycles are coming from the left. So I will place the playhead where the first cyclist shows up. Here we go. This is the beginning of the portion I want from this footage. I select the in mark, I click here, or I can also hit the I key on the keyboard. Now let's find the end of the portion we want to keep. Scrub to the point where the second cyclist goes away. There it is. Click the out mark or just press O on the keyboard. We now have both an in point and an out point. This marks the portion of the footage we are interested in. We can preview that portion, but notice that if I hit play OK, then the whole footage is played, not just the portion we selected. To play the portion that's defined by the in point and the out point, select the loop button and then press play OK. If the loop button does not show on the transport control buttons, then click the plus button to open the button editor, select and drag the loop button and add it to the transport control buttons. Then click OK to close the button editor. Depress the loop button and play the clip. Now only the portion of the footage is played between the in point and the out point and loops. Hit space or hit the stop button to stop the playback. Also notice that the duration of the clip has been shortened to the section I selected here. The duration field now shows the duration of the clip between the in and the out points. If I now add this clip to the sequence, I would only get the part that is specified by the in and the out points. Let's try it. Drag the clip and drop it on the timeline. A sequence is created for us. And the clip in the sequence only shows the in-out portion of the original clip, and the length of the timeline is the same as the duration of the subclip between the in and out points in the project panel. Let's check the length. Click anywhere on the timeline to give focus to the timeline and press Shift and down arrow to jump to the end of the clip. Notice the time of the playhead position. It matches with the duration of the subclip selected in the source monitor. We can edit the in and out points. We can also remove them altogether. To remove the in and out marks on the source panel, right-click on the image and select Clear In or Clear Out or Clear In and Out. If I now insert again the clip in the timeline, I'll drag it above the previous clip, it will insert the full clip. Click anywhere on the timeline to give focus to the timeline, then hit the backslash key on the keyboard. This zooms the timeline to fit to the clips, and hit shift down arrow to move the playhead to the end, and notice the duration of the clip. It matches the original clip duration. Okay, so I showed you how to use the source monitor panel to mark a section of a clip by using the in and out marks. Basically what we did here is prepare a clip, we defined the section we want to keep from that clip, and then inserted the section to the timeline. We probably have more clips, in fact we have 3 here, and we might want to select a section from each of these clips, similarly to what we just did for this clip. We can follow the procedure we went through and prepare each clip. So we would bring this clip to the source monitor panel by double-clicking on it, like so. Then we would analyze the clip to eventually find the section we want to keep and set the in and out points to mark that section. We can do this from the project panel. This prevents from having to go back and forth to the source monitor panel and will speed up your workflow once you get used to it. Let's look into this then. Hover over the project panel, just move the mouse over here and hit the tilde key to bring the panel full screen. Make sure that the icon view is active, and if it isn't, click the icon view here. We already saw in an earlier tutorial that we can scrub through a video by hovering over a clip and grabbing toward the left or the right and play the video like so. The size of the preview can be adjusted. We can size it with the slider here. Now let's choose the clip with the bicycles. Let's look for the section that we want to keep from this clip. I'd like to start from where both bicycles show up, so I'll scrub here and I hit I, this marks the in point, and I'll scrub to the point where both bicycles go away and I hit O to mark the out point. You'll notice that the space before the in point and after the out point are no longer blue, and this gives us a visual clue of the selected section of this clip. Scrub to the start of the section you'd like to keep. Hit I and then find the end section, like so, and hit O. We can repeat this process for each clip that we see here. The in and out marks are persistent. They won't get lost when I close this panel. I'll hit the tilde key and switch back to the workspace view. Notice here that the sections are still active. I can close the project and they still will be applied when I get back here. So far we looked at marking in and out points in a clip in order to select the footage we want. But what if we want to keep not just one section of a clip, but 2, 3 or even more? We cannot define more than one in point and out point on a clip. Double click on this clip, for example, to bring it on the source monitor. As I mark in and out points, the previous in and out points are lost. So how can we define more than one section in a clip? We seem to have an issue. Those folks at Adobe must have thought of a solution, and they certainly did, with Subclips. With Subclips, we can select more than one section of a clip. We know that near the beginning of the clip, we see 2 cyclists passing to the right. Closer to the end, a cyclist is passing by to the left. We want the first 2 cyclists in a subclip, and we also want that last cyclist in another. So basically, we want 2 subsections. We already defined in and out points for the section with the 2 bicycles, and we can see it here. So good, we have our first section, but now we also want that second section later in the clip. We also know that if we hit I here to mark the beginning of the second section, we are going to lose the first section. So we first have to create a subclip from the first section. We can either right-click on the source monitor panel and select Make Subclip, but I'll cancel. We can also navigate to the clip menu and click Make Subclip, or simply hit the shortcut key. that we see here. This creates a subsection from the current in and out selection. Let's give that subclip a name that we can easily find later. Let's give it a name that makes sense to us. I'll enter cyclist underscore subclip 01. Notice the checkmark restrict trims to subclip boundaries. If I check this option and use this clip on the sequence, I will not have the ability to extend the video data to the right of the out point and to the left of the in point. Basically, the section will be limited to the in and out point, and I won't be able to pull in or pull out if needed. This is totally up to you, and it depends whether or not you'll want to add transitions to your clips in the timeline, for example. I always keep this option unchecked, as I might want to access data beyond the in and out marks. Navigate to the project panel. We now have a new clip. It is the subclip we just created. Switch to the list view so we see the names, and the new clip has the name that we gave it in the previous step. Notice that the icon is slightly different. See this icon? It shows an in and out point. The project panel tells us that this is a subclip. Switch back to icon view, click here. Here is our new subclip. Scrub left and right to confirm this is a section of the original clip, and here is our original clip. Now, because we have this subclip, we can select a new in and out point in the source monitor. We now want the single cyclist passing from the right to the left as a second clip. I'll position the playhead somewhere here in the middle of the clip. We won't use the playhead for selecting the second subclip. Let's use shortcut keys instead. I'll talk about shortcuts for a minute. They are extremely useful. The keys are J, K, and L. J plays backward, K stops, L plays forward. Note that if you hit either J or L more than once, the playback will speed up. Let's try them. I click L, the clip plays forward. I click L again and the clip plays faster. When I click L again and again, the speed increases. As I'm hitting J, the playback slows down. When I hit J again, it slows down further, and if I hit J again, the footage plays reverse. And this works the same way. I hit J again and again, and the speed increases. L reduces the speed. To stop the playback, hit K. So again, L plays forward, J plays backward, K stops. So let's position the playhead somewhere in the middle of the clip, and we'll search for that second cyclist passing by. And I'll use this case, J, K, L, to move through the footage. Okay, I now hit L to start. Let's wait a second or two. Oh, we missed the cyclist, so I hit J to play back a little, and then L again. There, I hit I for the in point, and now O for the out point. So we now have an in-out section for the second section. I could adjust the in or out point, but I believe the selection is okay. I'll go ahead and I'll create the second subclip. Right click on the source monitor, select make subclip, and I'll give it the name cyclist underscore subclip 02. We successfully created two sections from the original clip. Both subclips are listed in the project panel, and they are ready. They can be pulled on the timeline whenever we need them. Let's do that now then. Select the first subclip and the second, and drag them to the timeline. When I scroll here, we can see both clips playing as expected. So to recap very quickly on what we just did to this point, we used the source monitor to prepare the clips that we would later on want to bring onto the timeline. We can also set in and out points in the program monitor, but in and out points in the program monitor are used for a different purpose. Aim at the timeline panel and remove the clips from the panel. Select this clip, hit Ctrl or Command on the Mac, and select the second clip and hit delete. We will now bring the full length of the clip Bikers and a Car. So first double click on the clip. This brings it to the source monitor, and delete the in and out points. Right-click here and select Clear In and Out. Now drag the clip to the timeline. Now scrub about here, where the cyclists disappear, and then to about here, where the car starts appearing. We want to remove that section. So let's move to the point the cyclist disappears and set an in point. Then scrub to the point the car shows up and set the out point. The lift option will erase the unwanted section delimited by the in and out markers selection on the timeline. Click Lift and see the result here. This piece was removed, leaving a gap. Now let's look at the second option, Extract. First click Undo or Ctrl or Command Z to undo the lift operation. And select Extract. Notice that the selection is removed, but a ripple delete operation was also applied, thus remove the gap we previously had with the lift operation. We will look further into options for trimming clips later in this tutorial, but I hope that for now we have a basic understanding of in and out points in the program monitor and how they can be used for trimming unnecessary portions in our footage. In this section, I showed you how to mark in and out points in the source monitor panel and in the program monitor panel. We used in and out points to define a section in a video clip. In and out points in the source monitor can be set to prepare a clip prior to dragging it to the timeline. You can define several sections in a clip in the source monitor. To do that, use Subclips. You can define in and out points in the project panel. This speeds up the process of marking sections. Unwanted sections can be removed from the timeline by using in and out points. In the next section, we will work with the Tools panel. The Tools panel provides a list of edit tools that we'll be using extensively on our asset in the timeline.